Yeah. Good morning, 60P fans, school friends, family, all of you out there who have been watching and enjoying what we're doing here. Welcome to another episode of 60P with your host today, Sir Persevere, Victor Catano. That's me. And my good and beloved friend, sister, someone who I deeply admire, Rosaura, who I named Rosie Rosaura.
Good morning. Nice to be here, Victor.
And you will get your dose of Rosie Rosaura on Thursday, and she's the guide master. So let's get into it, folks. Today we have a lovely program for you centered around our six paths, which are stillness, scalar dreamer, creator, sports-passionist path, where we're going to have a special treat for you there today. We have our authorship and we have our thinker path. We believe that when you practice those six paths, that transformation happens in your life. You just become a better person. You live a better life. And you just are ready to deal with things. Everything that life throws at you, you're just better equipped to do it. Especially, I have my Sir Persevere platform, which is geared to help people be better mentally, physically, and for me, especially spiritually. And you all know the slogan. I'm going to make you remember it forever. It's when I'm losing, I'm just starting to win. So today and here comes Lawrence. Yay, Lawrence is going to be with us today. So we'll give him a chance to come in, and we'll let him introduce himself when he comes. So today we're gonna do a show centered around motivation, and just as we say that, the man who lacks no motivation is in the building. What's up, Golden Boy?
Good morning. How is everybody?
Doing great. Even better now that we see you, sir.
You got
Yes,
it.
you can say that.
Good timing.
So, so we were just about to get into motivation today. We're going to talk about this show is going to be centered around motivation and ways that we motivate ourselves, right? Because all of us have talents, abilities, we have skills, we have things that drive us, but sometimes we don't plug into that source. We don't plug into that engine, that thing that motivates you, right? And so today we're going to be challenging all of you to figure out what motivates you. How do you get off that sofa onto a treadmill? How do you get from a point of having writer's block to all of a sudden you're putting out beautiful ideas, right? What is the source that you have? What do you do? How do you wake up early? How do you not snooze through your morning and lose valuable time, right? Those are the things that I'm hoping to inspire today. And having said that, we are going to go right into stillness. And Lawrence, I would love it if you would be the driver of our features. Thank you so much. So here we go. Let's get into an attitude of receiving. Open up the pores of your body. Open up your mind, open up your heart, and just be ready to get whatever we're going to throw at you today, because it's going to be good. I want you to imagine that you are coming into a stable today, and you're coming to pick up a horse that you're going to ride into town. I want you to pretend that there are no cars. You're getting around the good old-fashioned way, around with a horse. And you're coming into that stable, and you're an experienced jockey. You have all the capacity that you need to ride that horse. But here's the thing. When you get into that stable, you don't know the mood of this horse. You don't know what it's going to want to do or not do today. You don't know what you're going to find when you get into that stable. All you know is that that horse is tied up, and sometime between now and when you get to that horse, you got to figure out how you're going to get that horse in the right mindset and how you're also going to get on it to ride it. So here we are now. Visualize this. You walk into that stable. You take a deep whiff. You smell the hay. All the scents of a beautiful creature. All the scents of leftover food. The scents that are familiar to farm life. And you take a deep whiff in. You look around and you walk in. You're hoping to find a motivated horse that all you have to do is tame and get on, but that's not the case. The horse is dragging. The horse is actually sitting down. It's not even standing. You walk in with your befuddled look because you thought the horse was going to be standing. That horse isn't going to make it easy for you today, is it? How are you going to get this horse on its fours? And how are you ultimately going to get on it? You see, life can be this way. You walk towards something that you think is going to be a slam dunk today, and it isn't. Things aren't going according to plan. And sometimes those plans stall right in the beginning phases, before you could leave your house, before you can start your presentation. Things happen. What do? Well, I'm going to walk over right to this horse calmly, and I'm going to make sure that I don't startle it. And I'm going to make sure that this horse knows my intention, because you see, when you walk towards situations, how you show up is already winning half the battle. If you show up to situations in the right in the right mind, in the right spirit, I almost made up a word there. Maybe we could make up that word, merit. Combining spirit and mindset, right? There's something. That could be another future Sir Perseverism. You'll walk up, and let's rock with that. You're walking up in the right merit to that horse. And that horse trusts you because it knows who you are. And this is the way you want people to trust you when they're hurting and when they're sad and when they actually need someone, because it's human nature to repel people at first. Right. Well, there you are. You've approached the horse. I like to show up in love. My best connection is the love that I have in my heart. And I gently pat the horse and let it know that it's okay. It's okay. Right? You know, you start from the top of that horse and it's like an S, right? Do that. Do that when you're dealing with people that you love and you care about and that you can actually physically touch, right? Your children, your wife, your husband, your mommy, your daddy, whoever it is. Practice the S, right? Like you're grabbing the top of the horse's head and you're gently curling down the neck to the back, right? It's actually very soothing. I can visualize that horse's mane now, and I can feel that horse's energy and trust coming up by the second. This is how I show up. When I show up, I show up to give it to you. I'm going to give you that loving, whether you like it or not. And sometimes people aren't ready for it, but they're going to be done with it when I give it to them. Ah, there you are, horsey. You trust me, and I trust you. Revel in that. Feel that love coming back and forth between you and that horse. You're exchanging it. And you start to feel that horse, just on that love itself, it's starting to stand up and rise. People are this way too. Sometimes it just takes that one little bit of encouragement. This is why I never enter a room without saying blessings. That's my entry to every room. Blessings. Right? Because I believe that I have the Holy Spirit in me. And when I say blessings, I'm releasing the Holy Spirit to do what it does. And sometimes it's just that one thing, right? You hear all these stories that people are like, I'm going to hurt myself today. God, give me a sign. Give me a sign that you care about me. And you just walk into that room and you say blessings. And maybe you save a life that day just because of how you showed up. We're all tasked to have that responsibility. Now, guess what? This horse is standing. This horse is ready to go. All because I showed it a little love. And I don't just stop there. I've got this horse motivated now. Now I'm kind of just like tickling the back of its neck, and I'm tickling the area where I'm going to sit on. This horse is ready. It's primed. And all it took was just a little love. So, folks, as you prepare to show up to the world today, what is your love tool? How are you going to show up today? How are you going to deliver that motivation that we just delivered to that horse? What motivates you? What tools do you have to get yourself going? How do you inspire yourself? Here, with our 6 TP path, we have all of those tools. We have 6 tools that really do that for you. We have the stillness. We have the scaling dreaming that allows you to dream beyond what's possible. We have a path that gives you a space to create. We have a path that gives you a space to write, because when we write in the authorship path, we're not just writing for the sake of writing. I consider writing to be a series of journals that you use to make the world better, because there's something in your heart that you carry. There are things that you've learned. There are things that you bring that help people better, and you share those gifts through your writing. Our Sports-Passionist path, that's what gives you the staying power to be able to live, to be able to have good health. And last but not least, our thinker path. That's where you sharpen your mind, and that's where you build your capacity to be able to receive the writing of other people and to be able to apply it in ways that could make you better. So take all of that with you today. Take every bit of that with you today as you enter the world. Remember, bring your best humanity. How you guys feeling?
In a dreamland. I feel that I'm motivated, that I can take the world on my back and continue going. This feels great.
What about
Nice
you,
and-
Gold?
Nice and focused, and calm at the same time. So thank you. It was good.
Yeah, you see, sometimes we want to be motivated, right? But sometimes we are the motivator, right? It's kind of like a battery and an alternator, right? The battery drains, the alternator charges it, and the battery then in turn charges the alternator, right? Um, so we need to be clear about those spaces where we are giving, and we need to be clear about when it's our time to receive. And today is going to be a day to give. We're going to give motivation. So let's get into the scaling dreamer path. What are your dreams? What are the things that you are holding on to? Do you have things that you would love to see in action, but just don't know how? How much time do you spend with those dreams, though? Do you just, are they what I call just toilet thoughts and you just forget about them and don't revisit them? Or do you actually take the time to really think those things through, right? Um, Stillness is an incredible place to do that, right? And here, every day we practice that stillness, and we also give you this space right here for you to think about what is it that I want to do. And today, we're also going to task you to think about where is the motivation lacking to make those things happen, right? Because that's all it really is. I don't think anyone is short of goals, short of dreams, right? We've all wanted to be an astronaut. We've all wanted to be a doctor. We've all wanted to do incredible things, right? But we just can't make it happen, right? And I say you can't make it happen because you don't have the motivation to try. So tell me, Rosado, what's one thing that you've been thinking about and you haven't quite been able to figure out how to do it? And maybe a little change in motivation is going to make it better. Is there something like that for you?
Oh, yes, Victor. Many things. But the main one that I think about right now is living for many, many, many years to come. I want to be on this planet to be able to support the people around me for 100 years, for more than 100 years, and that requires a lot of discipline. It requires a change completely of mindset. It requires exercise. It requires eating well, sleeping well. It requires so many things, and that those are my dreams. What are my main dreams, Victor? I don't want to say bye-bye to my people too fast. I want to be here on planet Earth to be able to live and support them. And that requires a complete shift in mindset, doing healthy things then. That's one of my main dreams.
That's awesome. And well, doing this for the last 600 plus days, I'm sure is a great running start to that, right? What about you, Golden Boy?
I want to work on dialing in my nutrition better. Um, I feel like that needs some help still. So a lot of times when things are going on um, at the office, I'll just, oh look, there's a snack. So I got to work on bringing some more healthier snacks and having stuff that I can eat and um, feel better about. One of the things that I've done with that is I've tried to increase my protein intake, so and have less carbs. So that's something I'm working on doing. So I'm going to work on getting some more healthier food, less processed stuff um, that's available to me in an easier way.
So what I'm hearing is that you know what you need to do. You have all of the skill set. You have everything right. It's just that motivation that is lacking somewhere, right? And
Correct.
one of the ways that we've motivated ourselves in the past. I mean, we read all of the habit books, right? We read Tiny Habits,
Yep.
Atomic Habits, right? The Habits of People. We and we learned. I think the common thing that we learned about all of those books is that if we practice good habits, just tiny habits, right? Little steps at a time and cash in small victories, you can do all of those things, right? But I think you're off in the right direction here, right? By bringing awareness to it. A lot of people don't bring awareness to situations and they pretend that they don't have a problem, right? And one of the first things that you need to be able to do is make yourself aware that you have a problem and that you need to do something. And that's a good source of motivation, right?
Correct. Thank you, Victor.
I think for me, the motivation is I'm an ideas guy, right? I have so many ideas, but I think that my energy is cyclical, right? If I'm, right after we leave stillness and all the different paths that we do today, I could go run through a brick wall, right? I'm so charged. Being around everyone on our team makes me feel better, right? We have the best doctor in the world, and Dr. Pina. Um, all those things make me feel great. But unfortunately, when I leave here, I don't get to go work on those goals and dreams because a lot of us have to go work for an employer. And that's a good thing, right? I'm not discouraging anyone from employment, right? But wouldn't it be so much better to have the financial freedom to go do it on your own and to dictate your own schedule? And that's what we're building towards here, right? We're building here, right? We're giving you the opportunity to dream, you know, we're giving you the opportunity to think about what you need to do in order to break out of that cycle so that your best energy is going to the things that suit you and not towards the things that you need for survival. Think about that. As you scale, as you dream, as you believe for bigger and better things, right? What is stopping you from doing that? What chances do you have to take? What risks do you need to take? How are you going to motivate yourself to climb that mountain? Because that's what scaling is all about. So, having said that, let's go into our creator path. Here is where we want to take all the things that you're dreaming about, all the things that you want to see 10x, 100x, 1000x, right? We haven't thrown that one out there, right? We've thrown out 10 and 100. Well, grow 1,000 times. How about that, right? Let's be ambitious with what we're scaling for and what we're trying to grow. And let's translate those dreams into things that we can actually create. And our good friend Benjamin Hardy, who wrote The Science of Scaling, says that you should have big, hairy, ambitious goals, right? And those things are supposed to drive you to dream beyond what you think your capacity is. And by the way, move up that deadline, right? Because how many times do you dream about something and then you're just like, time has passed. This has become obsolete. Let me tell you a story of something that happened to me. When the phones first started developing apps and the apps concept and the smartphone concept was brand new, I had this idea for like 4 or 5 years that I sat on. I sat on it for all that time, and I would talk about it and I would tell people about it, and everyone would say, "Oh my God, that's such a good idea." And you know what I did about it? I did absolutely nothing. So one day I'm at one of my baseball games. I ran this team called the Nassau Yankees down in the Bronx, and I'm sitting there with my good friend Rob Engel, who does a lot of work for Major League Baseball, and he's one of those whiz kids that has the capacity to build apps. And in fact, don't misquote me, but I think he's the person who does all of the online game updates so that you can follow the game. It shows you there's balls and strikes. He developed a lot of those apps, or he improved them, right? He's great with the software programming. And we were talking about his strengths, and I said, "Oh, I've got this really cool idea." And my idea was driven on the fact that I would come up off the train station, and I'd look to the right, and there'd be a Starbucks, and I'd look to the left, and there'd be a Dunkin' Donuts or maybe another coffee shop. And when I'd go there, they were always busy, and I would think to myself, really, I have to get here like 20 minutes early just to get my coffee so that I can make it to work on time. And I said, wouldn't it be so cool if there was just a holding area where your drink was there? You could order your drink in advance, and there could be some sort of app that you click on, and you tell it when you're coming to get it, and you go and you pick it up. And the thing that I couldn't get past was, well, how are they going to charge you for it? How are they going to keep your drink safe? How are you going? I had all these questions that I couldn't answer, right? And I'm sitting there, and he goes, "Victor, this is an ingenious idea. I'm going to look this up, and I'm going to see if anyone is doing this. And if they're not, I know exactly what we need to do to develop this," right? Mind you, I've been playing baseball with this guy for 3 years and never once mentioned that to him. Well, the next game, he comes and he goes, "Victor, I have good news and I have bad news for you. The good news is your idea is brilliant. The bad news is Starbucks just announced 3 weeks ago that they are going to start a pilot program in Portland, Oregon, where they are going to start introducing ordering in advance, and they're going to pilot it there and see how it works. And so you will be able to pre-order your coffee." And I just looked at him and I just said, wow. He said they just started doing this. Mind you, this is 5 years after I first thought of it. I had been playing with Rob for 3 years. I could have been the person who pioneered that idea. That could have been me selling those dreams to Starbucks, to Dunkin' Donuts, to any place that sells coffee. I could have been issuing the notion of pre-ordering things. And you ever go into a Starbucks now and go get your coffee? Is anyone minding the coffee? Right? You just walk in, you look, and you see if your name is on it. And whether it is or it isn't yours, you just grab the drink and you walk out. Who stops you? But you see, I was so hung up on how I would keep that drink safe and those things that I never, ever went. I never got past that. I never shared my idea with people who could help me. And I never got past that preliminary thing. And I procrastinated for all that time. And as a result, that wave came and it passed me by. Don't let that be you. Don't let you be the person that has the ability to create something, and because you don't plug into your resources, or because you get hung up on ideas and you don't help people, you don't get people to help you bounce out ideas off of the wall, right? Go be that creator. If you have that idea, don't let anything stop you. Be motivated. Go after that. Dream big and don't be afraid. Any thoughts on that? Either one of you?
Well, Victor, as your name says, sir, persevere. You have to bring your ideas forward. No idea is too small or so silly that it's not going to work. Bring your ideas forward and give imagination and creativity a space to develop. Don't be afraid to fear, because if you fail, anytime you fail is a route to success. Failure is good because we learn from it. So anytime you have another idea, Victor, bring it forward. I want to say, Victor, that's my friend. He's a millionaire today because he had a silly idea. he bring it forward, and he develop it into something big. I want to say that's my friend. He's Victor, and he's a millionaire today. So bring your ideas forward, Victor, and don't be afraid to fail, because failure is good. Failure is the root to success. Failure is how we learn and we develop. So moving on, Victor.
And I want to be able to pull up that phone and show you my app to my bank. And you know the number. I say it all the time. 10,367,968.14 in that bank account.
Good. And don't forget to say that I was your friend and I motivated you, okay? I motivated you through the 60P Stillness and Wellness Club. So don't forget that.
What do you got, Golden Boy?
I think, Victor, you just got to listen for that next idea. So you learned from that idea that you had that it was valid. Someone else took it and run with it. That's happened a lot of times in history, that people have developed the same invention at exactly the same time, and somebody just got it to market a little bit faster, and that's the one that won. So I think just keep listening for whatever those ideas may be, and this time figure out a way to execute it, and just keep on listening for whatever that idea may be. You don't necessarily know what it is today, but when you think of something, next time write it down and figure out how to execute it.
Glory, I believe in that, and I know that I will get just the right idea. So let's segue now into the Sports-Passionist path. Full disclosure, I have a friend on my baseball team. His name is Richie Cochran. He goes by the name the Barefoot Motivator. And what he does is he jogs barefooted with no shirt, and he's a doctor. And I'm going to poke a little fun at him. He's no spring chicken either, but this dude is running and he's motivated and he's well known. He's got a good following. And I had asked him for a video and he didn't give me one. So I just ripped one of his videos, and I know he's going to be cool with it. And I'm going to share his video today. So let me cue this up for you. Give me a thumbs up when you can see it. Can you guys see the video?
Yes, we could. Thumbs up.
All right. And let's get this baby going.
Hello, everybody. Barefoot Motivator, Monday, May 20th. Get up, get moving, get exercising. And today, part 7 of the Motivators Week, me motivating the motivators. And this is the greatest one of all, Jesus Christ. He had no servant, yet they called him master. He had no degree, yet they called him teacher. He had no medicines, yet they called him a healer. He had no army, yet kings feared him. He won no military battles, yet he conquered the world. He didn't live in a castle, yet they called him Lord. He ruled no nation, yet they called him king. He committed no crime, yet they crucified him. He was buried in a tomb, yet he lives today. His kingdom is not of this world, yet it lies within the hearts of those who believe. He spoke of love and forgiveness, and his words have transformed millions. He offers no material wealth, yet we consider him the treasurer of our lives. He promises no earthly power, yet in his name, the powerless have found strength. You've heard this spoken many times throughout the ages. Yet Jesus is the ultimate motivator. He showed us true greatness comes not from earthly possessions, but from love, compassion, and unwavering faith. His life is a testament to the power of humility, sacrifice, and enduring hope. Follow his example, and you too can overcome any obstacle, transform lives, and leave an eternal legacy. If you believe in his teachings and embrace his love, let his spirit guide you. In him, we find strength to face our greatest challenges, the courage to rise above our deepest fears, and the hope to illuminate our darkest moments. Jesus is the eternal inspiration, the source of our strength, and the heart of your faith. Live by his words, embody his love, and let his light shine through you. Remember, he conquered death to bring you life. He bore our burdens to set us free, and he rose from the grave to give you hope. In him we find true purpose and a promise of life transformed. Jesus Christ, our master, teacher, healer, Lord and King, the greatest motivator now and forever. I'm the Barefoot Motivator. I love you. God bless you. And I am out.
Wow.
Wow, that's what I say. Wow. That's a great motivation. Very good. I mean, he
Now,
was
I'd like to
barefooted and he was
barefooted,
still
right?
going.
And he's quite the guy. And here's the thing. I respect all beliefs, right? I know that there are people out there who that doesn't really resonate with them, right? Don't get lost in the whole religious thing of that, right? But instead, right, I just wanted to share my own belief of, where my source is, how I get motivated, right? I am passionate about loving humanity, right? And we started touching earlier on my platform, which is to make people better mentally, physically, and for me, especially spiritually, right? And this is the platform that I use. This is what works for me. But everybody has to find what really works for them. Do I feel that my way is good? Absolutely. And I will always promote it and never back down from that, right? The real message here, though, is to find that motivational source for yourself, that thing that drives you, that thing that gives you passion, that thing that gives you the energy to pursue the things that matter to you and that you love. And on that note, now we're going to segue into the path of authorship. I'm going to do a little self-promotion. I have a book coming out sometime in the future about the tales of Sir Persevere, which is going to be the book that is going to be the backbone of this platform. It's a book that is designed to help people be better, exactly like I've called it, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Those who know me know that I've come from a background that wasn't the easiest to overcome. And through perseverance, I've been able to grow. I've gone from someone who grew up in a state of public assistance and tough financial circumstances to someone who has had the opportunity to be a successful CFO of schools and nonprofits, and now an entrepreneur developing all sorts of different things and ideas. And frankly, my motivation has come from, never wanting to live in dire circumstances again, never wanting any of my children to grow up in those circumstances either. And the thought of going back to that is my motivating source. It's what drives me. It's what gives me the passion to move forward. And look, in recent times, I've fallen into a little bit of a peak. And sometimes it feels like I am one step away from going back to living with my mom, but no chance, no shot. I'm plowing forward and I'm going to make things happen. And, the thing that I recently realized right, as I was writing, because writing gives you a space to be reflective and, grab life by its horns, right? I was realizing that one of the reasons that I'm never going to fail is because my own seed, right, they are on a path to success. I have beautiful children grounded in the Lord who are among I have two babies, a 6 and an 8 year old, that are probably the kindest creatures you'll ever meet. And I have a 17-year-old who's about to go to college, and he is an incredible human being. And he's going to be a great basketball player, and I think he's going to do some great things at his college. And then I have a gentle and quiet daughter, a 21-year-old, who wants to be a nurse, and she loves the Lord, and she's got these quiet and delicate ways. And I know that I've sown into each one of those lives. They've they all have a little bit of Sir Persevere in them, and I know that when it's their time to sprout, I am going to be replicated in terms of my spirituality, my humanity, my care, my love, my passion for people. And they're just going to be branching out. And I know that they're going to pass that on. And that's how we build legacy. So through my writing, I've come full circle to the fact that I'm writing a book that's supposed to help others, but it's also helping me because it's inspiring me to be better with each chapter. Every one of you has a book in you. Rosada, do you have a book in you?
Yes, Victor, you know how I'm passionate about health. So the book of that I am writing explain my personal journey in unhealthy living conditions, eating fried food, ordering out, always looking for something to eat in the corner store, buying something, and then eat it, come home and sleep. Unhealthy living styles. And what it took me to, it guided me through the road of destruction. Yes, Victor, just as you're hearing it, destruction. I developed many chronic diseases, many. And I was on the way to plan my own funeral because then I created it. But something said to me, no, not so fast, Rosa. You can't go down that way. And I did a turn, 60-degree turn, 90-degree turns. I turned. I know I'm trying to live a better health style. And I feel that there's something that I have to share, that other people have to know. That the life that they're living now, the things that they're doing, the eating out, all of those things have consequences. It could be long-term consequences, but it have it. You may not see it today, you may not see it tomorrow, but it's coming there. And you're planning your destruction. It tells a tale on us eventually. So we have two roads. The shorter one, fast food, buying out, eating out, and the longer one, preparing your meals, eating healthy choices. You take your choice. And that's what I want to help people do in my book. Make a choice. The longer road may be long, but the results are endless. That's what my book is about. I'm sharing my personal story.
Well, it sounds like that book could be about all of us, right? I know a guy that could benefit from good health himself. What about you, Lawrence? What do you have out there going into the ether?
I'm working on my AI for your IT department. So, how to use AI to do tasks that um, you've been doing manually, how to make it more efficient, how to keep track of the different budgeting aspects related to that. So, that's the book that I'm working on is how you can use AI to improve um, and streamline uh, different aspects that a lot of times people have been doing manually. So it's more than just you know automating. It's how to scale and set up systems that are going to make and improve things.
And where did that come from? Like, what how did you decide that you needed to write a book, Lawrence?
I've dealt with trying to manage where I am, the current place I'm at with. I work with a company that's a managed company, but I'm an IT department of one person. So there's lots of different things to keep track of. So it's coming from a place of how do I make this so this can make things easier for me, or how do I make it so that other people that are in the same boat, how can they help manage the area that they control, that they work under, more efficiently, easier, and more effectively.
And this is what we do here, right? We are all about building platforms that that are just going to be impactful to other people. We're not just trying to make our own lives better. We want to make the lives of all of you, all of your lives. We want to make them better too. And we believe that these things that we are practicing, we believe that this is the way. This is the way of life. This is the way that you grow. This is the way that you build legacy too, so that we could keep championing that through the rest of our dynasty. So having said that, we're going to end on the thinker path. And what I'm going to say here is we just encourage you to read. We hope that we're going to be contributing to your reading library. We hope that we're going to create books that are going to help you sharpen your mind and gain different perspectives on how to go about doing things, right? But there are wonderful books out there. There's a couple that we suggest. Obviously, we talked at great length about the science of scaling, which, we absolutely love this book. And this book has helped us really rethink how we look at deadlines, goals, and dreams. And we've read a few other books along the way. We read books about negotiations. We've read books about how to think and grow rich, which is a timeless book from Napoleon Hill. And we've read books about tiny habits. We've read books about, you name it. Reading is the way for you to develop skills that are inspired because of what other people are teaching. And we like to reciprocate that by also writing our own stuff so that we can then contribute to that world of just being better learners. Have a hunger for learning. I want to be a lifelong learner. This is probably why I've spent so much time in the education arena, because I believe that education is the great equalizer. Learning is what builds capacity. And I want to just continue to learn, grow, and I also want to be able to pass that on to people. And that's why we do what we do. This is why we show up here every day. This is why we feel that we are tasked to show you a different way of life. And this is why we so strongly support 6TP. So, folks, that's our show today. That's what we have for you. Remember, keep your motivation close. And if it's close to you and you don't understand it, just keep digging into it and keep figuring out what it is that drives you. Because once you have that motivation, that is what's going to propel you to the next level with the things that you're dreaming about and that you want to take action on and create. So motivation, motivation, motivation. And remember, go talk to that horse nicely. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you. Thank you. I'm motivated right now. I'm fired up. I'm going to exercise, take a walk.
All right, sister.
Thank you, Victor. Appreciate it. Have a blessed day.
You as well.